Yeah, happy Sunday, everyone, and hopefully our week has been good so far. Let me share my screen, and then we can get started. Okay, all right. So hopefully we can all see my screen. Let's jump into Unity. All right. So in the last class, we put together we continued the endless runner that we started, the simple endless runner that we started. And as I said, we are going to be building out to our Android devices. So I'm going to be showing us a few, let me see, tips and tricks to get that going. But that will be at the end of the class. I'm going to try as much as possible not to take too much of our time today. At the same time, we'll be covering up as much as possible. So today we are going to be looking at let me say spicing up the game just a little so that by the time we build it out to our mobile phones, it would look quite alive and very much interesting to play with. Okay, so this is our main scene. Okay, this is our main menu, our menu scene, and then we have the canvas, as I said in the last class, and then we have all of these different parts to the game. So we set up the menu character, and then just put something simple to get this going. The character has a simple animator, and that is what we have here. Okay. So but what we're working with today is adding a score system. Okay, we're trying to we want to start creating systems that we would use to keep track of player progress and all of that. Okay, so we're going to be working on a scoring system. Okay, so scoring system and a way to save that system. So those are things we're going to be working on today. And then we're going to also be working on the sounds and different other obstacles. Right now we have only one obstacle game object, but now we are going to be spawning different obstacle game objects as we go on. We're going to be spawning coins that would get the player coins, and going to be including all of that in the game. And we're going to start to try to make the game's difficulty harder the more you get into the game. You would notice in Subway Surf, the farther you go in the game, the faster you would have to run, and so on and so forth. So that those are the things we're going to be adding today. And then a little bit of sounds that would make the game more lively and more interesting. And then finally, we're going to build to Android. And we'll be sharing that on the group immediately we have the build ready. So um, if you don't have the game ready for Android, just go to File, Build Settings. If it's on Mac, if it's on Windows, Mac, or Linux, switch to Android. I already have it on Android. So what you do is when you switch to Android, you see this switch platform. Then you click switch platform, it will switch to Android, and then by the time you're done with everything you want to add or everything you want to do, you just switch. You just hit build, and then it will build out the game. We just have to make sure that the right menus, the right scenes are in the build settings. So yes, let's jump into the game menu, the game scene. So open up the game scene, and yeah, from where we stopped, we have the character, player, and then the world around us. Okay, so we have this nice looking environment. Okay, so now let's start working on doing much more interesting things with this. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so first things first is let's add a way to get coins in the game. Okay, let's find a way to get coins in the game. So the best way to do that is with the spawners. Okay, so we have spawn templates. Okay, so let's go to our spawn templates. Okay, remember our spawn template had we always had a space in between the spawn templates. Okay, so now let's put something in the middle. All right, so when you go to your prefabs, okay, and open up one of the spawn templates, like double click is open up the spawn templates. And if you followed along nicely, you would have these 2 points, okay? So you would have spawn point one. In order to get it looking like this, you go to spawn points, okay, and then click on what it should look like and select one of these. If you want to change it, you can always change it and change the color to whatever, and then but this is what I'm using for the spawn points. Okay, now for this to work properly, we would need to add one more thing. Okay, let's create and then call this coin spawn point. Okay, so this middle point, since our obstacle will spawn here and here, that means the middle will be where the coins will spawn. Okay, so or where the coin will possibly spawn. Okay, so now let's change this. Let's create a visible point. So let's use green or this light blue. Okay, so the obstacle will spawn here, another obstacle will spawn here, but the coins will spawn here. So copy this. Okay, since we already have that for the first spawn template, go to the next one. Okay, and now we need one to be here at this point. Okay, click and paste, and then move this over to this point. Okay, so this is where the we have it spawning here and here, meaning over here would be where the coins will spawn at. Do that for all of the spawn templates. Paste, look for the part that is empty, and then move it there. Okay, remember, always have your grid open or just move it to one space away. Okay, so that's 3. Okay, so 4. Okay, so this one we can have 2 spawn points or 2 spawn locations here, and then another one, paste, and move it to the side here. I'll just say 1. Okay, this is just 1. This is 0. Okay, so that's 4, 5. So and let's just have 1 for this one. Paste. That is good enough. And a final one, paste. So let's have this here, -1, and um, paste again, and all right, so there we go. Okay, so now we've redefined our spawn point templates. So let's change up the scripts for the spawn point templates. Okay, so now that we have these spawn points, oh, okay, should have done something earlier. All right, no problem. let's just copy the spawn points. But before we do that, let's create the coins, and then we start adding the coin spawner to the we'll create a spawn spawner script, and then we will be doing that very soon. So let's create a coin. Right? Let's create a sort of coin. Okay, let's come away from here and then create. So we can right click to create and then 3D. Let's use a cylinder. Okay, so let's just rename this to coin. The reason why I'm using a cylinder is because a cylinder is like the closest to the shape of a coin. Okay, zoom in to that, and we will just make this very flat, just like that. So you can see that it has a coin shape. Okay, so looks more like a coin, and then you can smooth out 1.5 figures. Okay, just say 1.25. That looks good. And then rotate it along the x-axis to look, face us this way. Or we just go to the x and then -90. So now we have a coin. And then for this, remove the capsule collider, and then instead add a sphere collider. Okay, so that when the player collides with this sphere, we get a coin. And then the sphere is looking boring, so we're going to change that up in a bit. So let's say 5, and let's say 0, 0. Okay, and that looks good. Okay, so you're using trigger. Does it have a rigid body here? So we're using trigger for the coin, and then let's go to our scripts and then create a new C# script and call it coin. Okay, so that script is what would be what our coin would be doing. All right, so that's what we would use to determine what functionalities we want our coin to have. All right, so we're back in VS Code and we're back to scripting. Okay, so let's create a public um sorry, let's create a public integer, okay, and call that integer coin value. Okay, so that integer is going to be the coin value, and the coin value is what value do you want to give the player when the player collides with the coin. Alright? So we don't need any of these. We just need to know when it collided with the coin. So we're going to use the void on trigger enter. Okay. So this is a Unity default script, and then we can just say collider and then other. All right. So and then just create this. So all this is doing is checking for when the player collides or triggers this coin or whatever game object this coin would be on. All right, this script will be on the game object. The script will be on. So we're going to use a conditional statement, and just as we did before for the collision with the obstacles, we're going to do it for this. Okay, so if other dot compare tag. So we're going to check if the player was one that triggered the um, coin, and then if it was the player, we are going to give the player the coin value. Okay, so now there's no way for us to know the coin value, and there's nothing we're using to give the player the coin value. So what we're going to do is save this, go back to Unity, and then we're going to create a going to create, should we create one? Mm, no, we shouldn't. Let's just go to the player and then create a new underneath the player health. Let's say public int and then let's say collected coins. Okay, so when we start it equals to 0. So these collected coins is what we're going to be adding to the player, and then we're going to be saving it when we create the save system. So we say other dot. So the player is going to have the components. So we're going to get the player components from the player. So we're going to do that using get components. So we're getting the player scripts from the player, and then dot what we want to do is get the coin collected coins. So this is going to be add equals to coin value. Okay, just to get us to understand what just happened is when we trigger the coin, okay, when we trigger the coin, we want to first off check if the object that triggered the coin is the player using the tag. Okay, so we're comparing the player's tag. And then when we do that, we want to check or we want to get the player component, which is this script. Okay, so this script is going to be on the player. So we'll check and then we'll get this collected coins value. And then when we get that collected coins value, we're going to add and make this the new value. So when we add, so this plus equals means add this new value, okay, and make this value the the new total value for this is going to be the addition of its current value plus this new coin value. Okay, so that's the plus equals to. Okay, it can also be written as this um, collected, okay, collected collected coins, but that's going to be too much stress because we will have to rewrite that again. So instead, just use this. Okay, so if I was to do something like so let's say int a equals to 5 and then int b equals to 7, we want to change the value of a. So instead of doing a equals a plus b, instead of having to do that, all we just have to do is do a plus equals b and that becomes the new value of a. Okay, so we'll add the current value of a to the current value of b, and then that new value becomes the value of a. So that's basically what we're doing here. All right, so anytime we trigger this coin, okay, we get this value, and at the same time we want to destroy, yes, so we want to destroy the game object so that the coin will no longer be there. But before we destroy the game object, let's have like a sound that would pop up. Okay, that would just pop. But let's not use that. Let's create a game object. Okay, that would be a sound effect. So let's say effect. Okay, or collect. Or let's just say effect. So what we want to do is when we want to spawn an effect, we just use the same instantiate method. So instantiate effect. Okay, and then where do we want to instantiate that effect? We want to instantiate it on the transform position. Okay, with no rotation, so just a quaternion identity. All right, so what this is doing is give the player the coin, okay, show the effect, and then destroy the game object after collecting it by the player. So yeah, this is basically what we are doing. Okay, so now we have to create this effect, and this effect would contain a particle system and a sound effect, right? So let's jump into Unity and create those. Okay, immediately after we're done with the coins, we're going going to create we're going to create different we'll create like a series of coins out of it and then have a prefab of them. Okay, this coin is looking boring, so let's go to our materials and then create a material for the coin. Okay, so material and then say coin mat or coin material, just to be safe material. Okay, so now let's just create an emission so that it be shining and then do that. So go to the coins create and then just add that to it. Okay, so make the color yellow or bright yellow or something goldish. Make it bright just a little bit. I guess that makes sense. So on the coin, we need to add the coin script. Okay, and let's make it a simple. Um, let's give it 10. Yes, let's give it 10. So every time you collide with the coin, you get 10 um, collected coin values. Okay, so the more you play, the more coins you get, and then use the coins to maybe buy something. But we're not going to be using that. We're just going to be saving how much coins you collected and then get the high score out of it. Save the high score so that when next you play, you can beat that high score and then you can continue playing like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. All right, so now we don't have the effect, so let's create the effect. Okay, so let's go to the effects, all right, and create a particle system. And then let's call this coin effects. Okay, so yeah, so this is what an effect looks like. Okay, but this is not what I want it to look like. So we're just going to. So what I want us to get is when the player collides with when the player collides with the coin, I just want it to feel like a burst, just like or something like that. So first of all, change the color to something close to yellow, okay? And then for the render, let's give it the same material that we did with the coin. Okay, so yeah, we should have something like this. And okay, I don't want to use that billboard. I need a good material. Let's duplicate this and then call this other one the coin effects. Okay, so we're just trying to make this look good. Okay, so instead of it doing this really weird thing, just have that and then go to this, give it a round, let's say circle. I spelled circle wrong there. Let's look for a nice looking circle object or circle. Okay, something like this. Okay, okay, so and then make it transparent and then this can be a particle system. Where is it? Particles. Okay, and additive. Yeah, so there we go. So that now when we go here, we can see that it's more bright yellow. Okay, so that is this. And then yes, we wanted to give a burst. So instead of spawning looping, what we would do is give it a kind of burst. So if we play this, everything is randomly spawning. So let's have one lifetime, 1 second, speed, and then speed 10. And let's have Let's this be 0. Okay, and then have a burst of about 100. So if we play this, you can see that it creates a burst, but it's looking in the wrong direction. Let's say 20, and then okay, it's still in the wrong direction there, and then 19. Okay, something like that. So when you collide, it just gives this burst like oh, it just collected the coin, and then let's make it last longer. Duration to lifetime. Let's set the lifetime to one between 1 and 2. Okay, so let's say 1 and 2. There we go. And the speed, let's set the speed also between 5 and 10. So just yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah. So you collect the coin and you just have this really nice effect. So just like that. Okay, so that is one. And then let's set this stop action. So let it destroy immediately so that it won't be, piling up in our scene. So let's make that there. And then yes, we need to include sounds. We need sounds. So let's go to the Unity Asset Store and get sounds. Okay, so I already have a bunch of sounds in my project. Okay, in my Unity assets. So let me just show us what sounds to get. Okay, so that we can use that in the game. Okay, so audio, and then let's just see sound effects. Okay, so as that is loading, okay, so we always let's you can always maybe download sounds online or something, but for the sake of this, let's just use a free sound pack, sound effects pack. Okay, so we have all of these. Okay, so let's see which one am I currently. Let me quickly check the ones I have, and then I'll show us the one you can get. So my assets, you can actually get whatever sound pack you want or that makes sense to you. Okay, so hmm, let's see an interesting one to use. So first, you can get the footstep essentials. Okay, you can get this. You can also get um. There's one really good one that I saw. I'm waiting for this to load up. Okay, so I have to update all of these. All right, so let's get still loading up. Okay, let's just search for sound effects. Okay. There's a retro sound effects pack that I have. Let's say retro sound. Should have one here show up. We still can't find it. Okay. Okay, so free sound effects pack. So yeah, you can just search for free sound effects pack on the Unity Assets store, and you should be able to see a few, and then get the footstep essentials too. So these are the two packs you would want to get. So the footstep essentials, okay, and then the free sound effects pack. I already have them downloaded in the in the project. So I'm just going to import them. Okay, so yeah. We don't want all of them, okay, so that we won't clog up the. So we just want sound effect on. Let's just uncheck all of them. Sound effect on gravel, something that sounds like the road. Okay, sound effect on gravel, footsteps on gravel, and then just import that. So wait for us to import. That would import quickly. Okay, wait for that to import so that when our player is like running, we would have like the footsteps, and then let's get the yeah, free sounds, and then imports. We cannot import, we're not importing all of them. Okay, we're just going to go through a few and then see the ones that will be interesting to use. So get those two, footstep essentials and then free sound effects pack. So I think I saw some of them. I can't find my retro um, sound effects pack. I used to have it somewhere. For some reason it's not showing. So yeah, it would open that up, and what we want is a sort of um, hmm, let's do let's uncheck everything first. Let's uncheck everything and see ones that would look good. These ones are not. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get the metal impact one. Okay, let's get the magic spell coins. So yeah, those would this would act as when we collect the coin, and this is when we get hit by an obstacle. Okay, so are these three are what we would need, and then let's see if we can get one more that would make sense. Uh, I don't know. I think those are okay. Just for fun, let's get the explosion and then import. All right, so those would import into the um, game, and then we have that. So if we go through this, we can play. Okay, and then let's say magic. That took a while before it played. Okay, I think this would do well. All right. Let's go back to the package manager and see if I can find the retro somewhere. PQR sound effects pack free. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sound FX retro pack. So this is what I was looking for. Yeah. So you can search it up on the Unity Assets store. So just go and search for sound FX. I'll send this to the chat now. Retro. Okay. Retro pack. It should show already. Why isn't it showing? Still showing. Anyways, I will create the. I'll put this out for us. Okay, I'll send us a link to it, and then we will be able to get them. All right, so these are a whole lot better. So coins, explosions, game over, hits, jump, lasers, and all of these, we can use them. So I think we can just download all of them for now and then experiment with them and get rid of the other ones because those ones are for like high-end games. But this sound effects retro pack is what we need for the type of game we're doing. Okay, it's easier and it's more fun. Okay, so quickly, immediately this finishes up, we would be jumping right into putting the game into a really nice looking feel. Okay, so you can as we're waiting for that to finish up, let's let's do let's do something. Hmm. Okay, we would have to wait for this to finish. Okay, let's say you have a project busy, like something is loading up in Unity and you don't want to have to wait. There's a trick I do. What I do is I go to Visual Studio, I copy a script and paste, and it creates a duplicate of that script. All right. So you can just use F2 or right click and then rename the scripts. Okay. Let's see. Rename and then change the name. So what we want to create now is a save manager. Okay. So make sure that whatever name you have on your script is the same one you have here. Save manager is the same name with your class. Okay, if not, Unity would not recognize it. Okay, and then what you want to do is get rid of everything that was in the old script because we already have that script. Okay, so this way you now have a new save manager script. And don't worry, Unity will recognize it by the time you jump right into it. And it's still easy importing this. So instead of wasting time, let's get into the save manager. So in the save manager, get we want to get this. Okay, let's do yeah, let's say public integer high score. Okay, so for now we're only going to be putting in the high score. And let's make it interesting. Let's also create a float and then say something like longest game time. Okay? So how much time did you spend in the game? Okay, so these are the two that we'll be working on. Right. So now we want to create two save systems. Okay? Two values that we're going to be saving. So void start. So immediately we start the game or immediately we open the game, we want to get the save I want to get the save system. Okay, so in order to do that, we will use what Unity calls a player pref. Okay, so Unity's player pref is what we use to save player data in the game. Okay, onto your device. Okay, and this works like this. Okay, so if you want to set a if you want to set a value, okay, if you want to set a value, you can just say, let's create a public function to save values in Unity. Okay, to save values. So we can just do this. Let's say you save, okay, and then um let's say save integer. Let's say save integer value. Yeah, save integer value. Okay, and what the integer value we want to save is the high score. Okay, so we can do this. We can. Okay, I think someone is trying to join the meet. Okay. All right. So let's just continue from here. Okay. So I think this is done. Yeah, it's done. So save int value. So what we'll do is say player prefs dot set int. Okay, player pref dot set int, and then we would get the two values we want to save. So for set int, what we need is a key and value. So what's the key? A key is what you need to. It's like a data point or something like an identifier that you would need to identify a value that you're saving. So if I want to save the high score, I need to set a high score key and then whatever the high score is, right? So now let's create, let's make this the, so let's say string because a key is a string, or in this case, it has to be a string. And let's say key, and then let's say int, then say value. Okay, so you can save basically anything using this player prefs. You can save so player prefs. You can say set floats, which we'll be doing in a minute. You can say player prefs dot set string. So you can save all of these. I don't think you can save in Boolean. You would have to convert the Boolean, serialize the Boolean, make it a string, and then you cannot set, yeah, so you can't set the Boolean. Okay, so you can only set save the integers, floats, and strings. But you can create a kind of serialization method that would, convert all of your saved data into a string and then save them. But that's not what we're looking at today, so that's not what we're going to do. Okay, so let's do key comma value. So that way we can save a string. Okay, and then do the same thing for floats. So key, let's this be a float, and then change this to set floats. Okay, so we're creating our save manager, and then make this save string, and then make this a string too, because when you're saving a string, the key is a string, the value is also a string. Okay, so set string. All right. So now we have all of these values. Okay, so that is what we are going to be. So immediately we save these values, this is what we'll be saving. Okay, so another good way to do this. Now let's load. Okay, what's going on? Okay, we have less than 10 minutes. So we'll finish up with this and then go back and add sounds. Then we'll come back and round everything up. Okay. So yeah. So this way we can now save all of these values. Okay. And then what we want to do now is this. Let's get um so let's say public void. It's not going to be public. Let's say load values. Load values. Okay. So we're going to be loading up the values that we are going to be saving. Okay. So if player so if player prefs dot get string, okay, so the first thing we want to save, the string would be player name. Okay, player name, player name. Okay, so and then player, players. If if this is player name equals. Okay, so if this equals um okay, I want to obviously to do something. Let's see. So yeah, we say string dot um is null or empty. So if this string does not, if the string has nothing, okay, if that value is nothing, we want to save a string. Okay, we want to save a string. So let's create a public string. I'll call it player name and then call that player. Let's just say player. So when you start the game, your default name will be player. So we'll change that later on. Okay. So now for this, let's say save. So we'll save string value, and then we're going to pass string. Okay. So we're going to pass a string and then call that the player name. So this is the key, and then this is the name. Okay. So this will be name. Okay. So and else if there's already a value for the string, okay. All right. A question. Okay, new link. Okay, I will understand those. Amen, amen. Don't worry, just like you go back through the video and then you'll be able to understand it little by little. Okay. So, but basically, it's um, just knowing how to put everything together. Well, okay, I think I'm even overcomplicating this. Let's do something very simple. Let's do something very simple since not everybody is so comfortable with um not everybody is so comfortable with this. So what we are going to do is just do the simple and easy method. Let's just say um player prefs. But this one you have to be always be sure that that is what you're doing. Okay, player prefs get string. Okay, so get string, and then the string is player name. Okay, and then player name would be player. All right, so that is one. So now the next step we want to do is wherever we need to save the save a string, wherever we need to save anything in the game. Okay, Idris, what's up?
I dey wonder as well one thing I heard person like you say you want to yeah, the player press is it how do we call it? Is it an object from that Unity UI stuff?
No, it's Unity's default save manager. It is under the Unity engine namespace.
Okay. So it allows the player to put in his or her name, right?
Yes, you can save your name using you can save basically anything that is an integer, float, or string. So if your name since your name is a string, you can save the player's name, you can save the player's high score, you can save the player's health and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should get into the new 4 minutes. That should be time enough. Let's jump right back to Unity. And then by the time we jump over to the next, just conclude on the safe manager. But for now, I want us to finish up with the assigning the sound and then the effects, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, still recording. So yeah, we've imported the sounds.
Um, Sorry, please can we change to the next link?
Okay, yeah. So let's all join the new link. Okay. All right. Let me share my screen and then we'll continue from there. All right. Okay, so we now have the we now have the pack. Okay, where is it? Yeah. So come all the way here and then audio, and then you can see we have different packs for coins. Okay, and then just look for one that sounds good to you. Use them. Okay, I think we can use something else. That's coin 15. Okay, so that makes sense. So now go to your coin effects. Okay, create a new um, create a new audio source. Okay, create a new audio source and drag coin 15, the sound for coin 15 into the audio clip, and then make sure play on awake is checked so that that would be so immediately this is instantiated, we get that sound. Okay, so now go back to your mini endless runner, go to prefabs, drag and drop the coin effect in there. Okay, so now we have the coin effect. Delete it from the main scene. Delete that from the main scene. Go to the coin, drag and drop the coin effect into the effect slot. Okay, save. Drag the coin into the prefabs folder. Now we have the coin. Okay, so we set this to 0. We have to reset everything to 0, 0, 0. Okay, delete this from the scene. Okay, okay. Okay, so in order for this to work properly, because now it's going to be giving us this weird thing. Okay, first go to your prefabs, delete this. Okay, make sure that you can just unpack. Okay, before you drag it into this, make sure you have create an empty. Let's create an empty. Okay, if you know the color coin, so that we won't have this in a wrong orientation, bring it out and make sure everything is properly set the right thing. 1111. So this is good. Is 0001111. Okay, drag this coin object, okay, into this empty. Okay, let this coin object be into this empty. Then the coin script and the sphere, they are going to be on this coin object itself, not the this coin game object and not the coin object game object. Okay, so copy this, bring this here, paste as new, copy this, take it to the coin, and also paste as new. Then go to the coin object and remove and remove. Okay, here make sure it is at 0 0 0, and then you can go to the objects and then you see the coin here. So this is the coin game object here. It's compared to the character. Make sure it's not too big. That's almost. So go to the coin object and then try to reduce the size. Go R and then just scale down a tiny bit to make sure that that looks good. Yeah. So you just compare them and see what looks good for you. So 6 and 5, 5. Okay. So yeah, this looks good. And then make sure the collision is small too. So go to the sphere collider, reduce the radius. Let it just be around around the coin. Okay, let's just be around the coin. And let's do something else interesting with this. Okay. Um, go to the coin game object. Go to the coin game object. Go to the animation. Okay. Add an animator. Okay, add an animator, and then all we need to do is create no, let's add an animation instead. Let's say an animation. Okay, and then go to the animation, select that, and create a new animation. So when you have the coin object selected, create a new animation. Okay, create a new animation and call that make sure that it's in the mini ls runner animations. Okay, I call that coin rotation. So what we're going to do is make the coin rotate, right? It will keep rotating on the y-axis or this axis here. Okay, so yeah, that's the rotation. So add a property, transform, rotation, and then add. So we want it to rotate in like a second. So on start, so we want it to like rotate on the along the y. So make it start at 0. Okay, and then so what you do is record. All right, go to there and then hit that, or you can just come straight here on the y-axis, increase this, and let's say minus 360. No, that's 360 minus 360. Okay, then go here and say 0, and then if you play, you can see the coin is rotating, but it's rotating so fast because it's doing all of the rotation in a second. Okay, and then you can stop the rotation. Click on these 2 points, right click, and then do free smooth and play. You can see it's rotating smoother. Drag to make it rotate longer. Okay, you can see it's rotating longer. Select it to Control T, T. Okay, that's yes. Okay, so free. All right, so that for the coins. Stop recording all the way back. Animations, stop the preview all the way back. Okay, so now we have the coin, and then drag the coin into your prefabs. Okay, now we have that, and then now delete this. So what we want to do now is create a template for the coins. Okay, so that we would have like maybe 3 coins in a row to pick. Create 3 coins or 5 coins or thereabouts. So create an empty and call it coins templates. Okay, so coins templates, and then make that 0 out, and go to where it is scene, yeah, somewhere here. Okay, so now we can drag and drop this coin. Okay, make that 0, 0. Okay, bring it up just a tiny bit. All right, just like that. And then yeah, so we have the first one, second one, third one. So the second one, bring it up front like this. Third one, bring it to the back like that. So that will be 1, and this would also be -1. So we have 3 coins that we would be able to pick in a row. Okay, so when the coin spawn, we will pick 1, 2, 3. So it will have like didn't, that kind of sound. So, and then now create this as a coins template. So that's the first one, 3. Okay, duplicate this, and then now add 2 more. Okay, so this one, let's put it at 2, and the other one, let's put it at -2. Okay, so now we'll have more coins to pick up with this new template, and then drag and drop original prefab, then now delete those 2. Okay, so now we have coins that we can pick up in the game. Okay, so let's go back to our spawn point templates. Go to the spawn point, okay, and then give the spawn point a spawner. Give it spawn points. Okay, so this obstacle script here, instead of putting an obstacle script, what you just do instead is drag and drop one of the coins templates. So now do that for all the others. Okay, so just copy the script, go to the second template, paste. Okay, then maybe put second one here. Okay, and then do the same thing for the third one, paste, and then again I leave that one there. So the fourth one, we'll use the other one so that we can have a bit of balance. So for this first one, so let's use these, select those 2 and paste value. Okay, that should do that. That's 4, 5. So let's put paste, and then put the second one, and then we can have the final values. Taking these last few things. Maybe the last one can have a different. Okay, so in order to save progress, okay, in order to save progress, okay, let's try it out first off. Let's try it out first off and see that it is working. See if this is working. Okay, let's try this out first. So you can see that we have It's not moving forward. Oh, yeah, the coins are not moving forward. Sorry about that. So if you go to the coins template, we can add the obstacle script to it. Okay, we can add the obstacle script to it. And just to be sure, I want to make sure that the obstacle script does not have. Mm, okay, we won't be triggering anything. We're just going to be using this, so it's still good. Okay, so let's see what speed is the obstacle moving at, so that we have the players moving the same way. So the obstacle is moving at 7. So copy. So let's just copy this. Go to the templates, these two templates, and paste. It's new. So we have that. Go to the first one and then paste component values. Okay. So if you go to the game now and play, we should have them moving in sync with everything else. So it's always good to check out what it is that you're doing. So you can see we are getting the values, but then our effects are too big, so it's kind of creating like a dust. So instead of that, we just create like really small values for it. So we'll just reduce the scale of these effects because it's looking too big and it's getting too distracting. All right, so that is, and then game over. Okay, so um, yeah, so that is how that works, and we can do so much with that. So if you replay, if you pause this now and go to the player, you can see we'll be able to see that the collected coins has increased, but we're not seeing this within the scene. So let's create a UI that would use to check the collected coins, and then we'll also find a way to save the collected coins so that when we start the game, we can see our high score and then everything, all our progress. So first off, let's change the scale. Let's change the size of the coin effect. It's looking too large. So let's say start size. Okay, wait, start size. Instead of 1, let's make that 0.5. Okay, and the duration, let's just make the duration also 1. And start lifetime 0.5 to 1, so that it won't cloud the environment too much. Okay, so that is something we can do there. And then yes, let's go to the let's create a UI and then put it to this side so that we can see how much coins we've collected. Okay, so let's go to the canvas as usual, health, and then duplicate this health and then call this coins. Okay, call it coins, but instead of having it to the left, let's select this, hold shift and alt, take it to the other side. Okay, so this is going to be at the right. If you want it at the left, hold shift and alt and then select it to clamp it to the right side, shift alt left and then right. Okay, but we're not seeing the coin value, so we have to move. So let's say player coins. Okay, so we need it to be at the right side of the player, left side of the player actually. Okay, there. So go to where it is, go to the scene, go to where it is in the scene, make sure you're facing it. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the front view, okay? And then bring it to the side here. Okay, so let's say 0, starting with 0, and save. I'll put this here. Let it be outside there. Right. Save. If you go back to the game scene, you can see 0, but this is not the right icon to use. So let's go to coin. Let's go to the icons. Which one looks like a coin? Yeah, there we go. 21. And drag and drop. Let's go to coins, drag and drop this in, and then we can have the coins there. Okay, so now that we're working on the UI, let's go back to the main scene. Okay, let's go back to the main scene and then create the kind of high score value so that we can check our high score. Okay, go to scenes, menu, scene, so save. Yeah, always make sure to save. And then our high score can be somewhere. Go to canvas, settings, where we have settings. Okay, and then duplicate that and then call this high score. Yes, high score. It's not a button, so we can just remove that. Okay, all we need is the image here and then top right corner. Okay, so where it is, excuse me. Let's see, -10 and then -10, just to make it properly aligned to 25. Okay, that makes sense. So we can always do this to properly set that 10 in this case and then -25 in this case. So that looks much better. 5 to square everything out. I score -25 since it's at the other. And then yeah, go to your UI and then switch that up. So that is the high score. It's not the proper. So 115 by 157. Okay, the actual size of every UI object is can be shown here. Okay, then you can scale it based on what you want to scale it. So you can see the size here. The image size is 115 by 157. So always make sure to put it here. And then if you want it bigger or smaller, you can just maybe divide by 2. And then take it to the other side, slash, divide by 2, so that it's 2 times smaller. Or you can just go to the scale and then put 0.5 and then 0.5. Either one works. Okay, now we the um, have the high score icon, but we don't have the high score yet. Okay, so let's put the high score text. So this and then legacy text. Okay, so let's just call that text high score text, and there we go. And then that's 0 for now since the high score is going to be 0, and increase this to let's say 32, and then make it white. Yes, and then the size, you can put size as anything you want, but let's say 100 by 100, and then put this to the side here, drag it over here. Okay, and then center it out properly. So if you go back to the game, that's too small. Let's say something like this and make it bold. So that is around 80 and then bold. So our high score would be this value. Okay, so now we don't have the save manager here. So create an empty, call it save manager, and then put the save manager script here. Open it up. Okay, open it up, and then create UI to check to assign the save manager, to assign the values, the high score values, and then your player's name or whatever. So we're only going to be using the high score values today. But I think for the assignment, you can try to use the save manager to check for the to save the player name and then the um so high score text and then the longest game time. Okay, so public text longest game time text. Then finally public. So instead of using public text, we just use public input field and call that player name. I'm going to show you how to use this very soon. Player name input because we're going to be changing that value. Okay. So now, first off, check if the player prefs has any name saved. So let's say I'm not going to be checking for this. I'm only checking for the high score for now. You can do the rest yourselves. Okay, on the so we just want to show us how to use. So if yes, if player pref dot get what okay, the get integer, and the integer we're checking for is high score is not equals to 0. If it's not equals to 0, then high score equals to player prefs get int high score. So always make sure it's the same spelling because the key is sensitive. It has to be the exact thing. So what we're doing is we'll check, do we have a high score saved? Okay, and is the high score available? If it's available, make our high score value equals to that value. Okay, and then what we need to do is say text, oh sorry, high score text dot text equals to a high score value to string. Here it's currently an integer, but we need it to be a string, so you can just use the toString method to convert it to a string. Okay, so that's if we already have the high score saved. If we don't have it saved, what we can do is either to show this, but this is not what we're going to do. We're going to create the high score. Okay, so we're going to say player prefs, okay, dot set high score, set integer, okay, and it has to be the same name, okay, high score, the same way you spelt it, and then say high score, okay. So since these are going to be the same thing, I'll just put this all the way down here, okay, all the way down. So this is wow, okay. This is not going to last. Okay, so this is what we will do. Okay, so and now anytime we end the game, we're going to do this. We're going to save the player press. We're going to save the high score. So go to where the game ends. Okay, so yeah, where we see the game end. Okay, make player prefs the high score. Okay, so save manager. So the player prefs would be the collected coins. Okay, that means the high score would be collected coins. So eventually the player dies, the new high score would be the collected coins. Right? So we'll just say this. Save collected coins as new high score. Okay, so this will be the new high score anytime the player dies. Or let's say let's actually do something. If if um if collected points is greater than or equals to player prefs. So we want to check this is this greater than the current high score. If this is greater than the current high score, then update the high score. If not, it won't do anything. So that's what we're checking here and save. Okay. This greater. If it's greater, then that would be the new high score. If it's not, change anything. Okay. So that is what we're trying to achieve. Give me a minute. Let me get my system plugged in. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Plug my system in. Okay. So let's quickly um yeah. So that is one good way for us to keep track of the things we see. Okay. So you can try and figure out how to do the same thing for the number of amount of time spent. Okay, so immediately the game starts, you can just have something else here, collected coins, and then just say public float let's say time spent in game. Okay, so when you start it will be 0. Okay, so on the updates you can just at the end of the update here you can just say time spent in game equals to okay, so you say plus equals to time dot time. Okay, so this is going to be every second. So this time dot time is like every second you spend in the game. Okay, so it's be calculating time dot time. So the current time is going to add the previous time to the current time, and then it will keep doing that. Or just say this, just say um, time spent equals to time dot time, because time to time is like how many minutes, seconds you spent in the game currently. Okay, so and then here you can check the same thing, do the same thing, and just say if time. No, I won't do that. Yeah, that will be the assignment. Well, immediately the game ends. Okay, the it stops. All right, so yeah, to stop checking that and then to reset. So here, try to find a way to do this. It's basically the same thing. So we'll make sure that over here you set the high score on start. Okay, on the longest time. So let this compile, and we will have that up and going for us. Okay. Okay, so just a few moments left. Okay, so save manager. Let's put in the high score text here. Okay, the high score text. So we have 0 high score and whatever. So now if we have 0 as our high score, because the high score is 0. Okay, Let's make sure. All right. So high score is not. So yeah. So that is going to be a high score. So now if we play the game and we start getting those values. Oh, sorry. We've not set the coins yet to receive anything. So if I pause this and go to the player, we would see that our collected coins is increasing. So that's 340. But we've not started, pushing the value to our UI, which we need to do. So let's make the player die so that we can see that that's one life gone, two, and then bow, game over. Okay. Now if we go to the main menu, we can see we have a new high score, 7, which is not right. 7 is not the new high score. Okay, it's 570, but the the UI is not large enough, so it's not showing the entire thing. It's actually 570 here, but the UI is not showing properly, so we have to go back and check why it's too small. Okay, so we can just stop this, go back to the scene, go to the UI. So always make sure to check. So let's drag this out. So let's kind of see how large this would be. And then horizontal overflow. So just make sure it overflows vertical. We don't need it to be vertical. So in case this goes more than the space, it will just overflow. Okay, like it would take more space than needed, I guess. So save that, and let's go to the main scene. Let's go to the main scene and game scene. And yes, let's update the coins. Okay, we only have a slot for health. Let's update the coins now. We're only updating the health. Let's update the coins. Okay, let's go to where we have yes, health text. So public text coins text. Okay, okay, so that's good. And then where we have coins text, you can just say where we have health text, you can say coin text dot text equals to collected coins dot to string. So we are converting it to a string from an integer. Okay, and now finally we want to show the player that the player has beaten the current high score. And to do that, let's have a public text. Should we have the public text here? No, we already have it in the so we already have this here. So let's just say show public void show high score. So instead of doing it directly, do let's just do this. Put it here. Okay. And then when it starts, we can do show high score. Okay. So because I want this to also show in the player scene when the player ends the game. So when the player dies, you save the high score and then say find object of type and then make that save manager, because the save manager is not on the player. Or should we make the save manager on the player? No, the save manager is not on the player, so we have to find the save manager in the scene and then do show high score. Okay, so that way it would actually make the highest, it will update the new high score, and then in the game scene we'll just put where the new high score would be, and it will show the new high score for us. So let this compile, and then we'll have the scripts. Okay, so this is what, so we have to drag this in here. Where is it? Canvas, coins, player coins. So drag in player coins. So let's copy this, copy, and then this game over panel is what we need to show the new high score. So let's paste this here. So where is it? Do we have it? There it is. That's not what we want. Let's put it at the center. Go all the way back to it. F. So this is this. Okay. Let's drag this here and drag this here this time. Make sure it is on the side. Yeah, drag this here. And T, nope, T, put it all the way here. So make that 400. Very good. And instead of wrap, overflow. Okay. Do the same thing for coins because it's do the same thing. And then drag all the way, make that 400 and overflow. Okay. So anything that has the coins value. So make sure it is there. Okay, so for this, let's put it here. No, let's put it here at this edge. Let's put it on this edge. So let's the alignment be at this edge. So if it's increasing, it increases this way. Okay, it increases this way. So just give it a little bit of space so that it will increase this way. Go to the coins, player coins, put it here, and then make it start from this alignment to the left. So it increases this way. All right, and then save. I think that is it. Go to the scenes and then do the correction also. Okay, before that, we're going to do the correction for the main menu so that it would also align properly. And then save manager, high score, drag in the new. So instead of calling this, so let's say new high score, and then duplicate this and say high score, high score text. So this is just say high score. Okay, let's drag this here. Okay, let's make this 50, 65. Okay, so let's say high score and then put it there and high score, high score game object or high score UI. And bring this down here to this, so somewhere close to the center, something like this. And T, make this here to align everything. So now we have the high score text and everything. Game over text, bring the game over text just a little bit here, high score text just a little bit here. So we now have all of this looking okay enough. And switch this back off. We only want it on when the game ends. Okay, so yeah, this is that. So let's go back to the main menu, save manager, go to the canvas, high score, drag it over there, and yes, let's do the same thing we did over here. So go to it, make it start from here, just pull it all the way here. Oh yeah, we need this icon instead of that. All the way here, and yeah, overflow. Go back to the game scene. Always make sure to save. Go back to the game scene. Um, Open this up. Go to the high score. It's not supposed to be this image. It's supposed to be paste this image. Okay, we'll use that trick I taught us. 115 by 157. Okay, and then just say 0.5, 0.5. No, it's going to affect everything. Anyways, let's instead of changing that, let's say 1, then the height. So point, okay, 2, 2. It will only affect the um, image itself and not the scale of the entire thing. So that way we can, check in our high score. So high score text, let's bring this here, reduce this to 45 or something close to 45, 42. And if for just for fun, change the color to a darker blue and save. Close that. We only want it to open when the game is over. Go to the main menu. Main menu. Go to the scene and play. All right. So we can see our high score is 570. We're collecting new. See, it's increasing our number of coins. Easy now. And then let's try to beat the high score and see whether or not the high score beats. Okay. So we have 380, 450, 540. We should be beating. Okay, we're beating the high score. So 780. Okay, let's try to die. 1, 2, 3. So high score 840. So you see, this is what we got, and this is the new high score. If we go to the main menu, we see the high score is the new high score we just got, meaning Unity is saving the new high score. So even if we close the game, okay, and replay the game and open up the game again, the new high score, the high score is still going to remain 840. See, 840. The system checks the save manager and updates the right score according to how we saved it. Okay, so that is um that. I think the last thing I wanted us to do is to change up the, make different obstacles hit us, and then we'll build. Okay, this is 51. Okay, so I think that's something we can just quickly do and then we'll round up. Or do we have any questions? No. So okay. That's the last thing we'll build, and then I will send over the build to the group, and then we can try it out from there. Okay, let's go to prefabs, obstacle, duplicate the obstacle, open up this obstacle. Instead of the trash can, let's have instead of this trash can, okay, let's have something else here. So Polygon City prefabs, props. Okay. So instead of the trash can, let's have something else. Quickly. What can we use? ATM machine, post-op pole, bush, fence. Let's just, so all you just have to do is duplicate the obstacle and then put in a new obstacle. Let's use this. Okay, let's use this and see how that looks. So yeah, we can use that. And then yeah, um, go to okay, this is way up there. Let's scale it down to five, five, so that it will match this, and make sure it is properly set. Oh, okay, we need this to be down, -1, -5. So just make sure that it's within the obstacle box. So yeah, it's inside of it. Okay, very good. Save, come out of that, and then go back to the spawner. Okay, the spawner. So we have okay, spawn point. Sorry. So for the spawn point, do this. Um, make it that, and then say random. So integer, so that we can spawn in anyone randomly. So rand, and then say random dot range. All right, and then so 0, comma obstacle dot length. That way we're going to be spawning different. So you can create with this, you can create as many different obstacles as you want and then spawn them randomly. Okay. So yeah, you can just use as many obstacles as you want, the cook machine, whatever, and then it would spawn all of those as you want. So we'll go to the mini okay, and then go to this spawn template. Okay, so go to this spawn template. All right, spawners. Okay, so now we can have this spawn any of these. So let's say 2. So it'll spawn this or this, and then for this spawn point, let's say 2, and then to spawn either this or this. Okay, so go to the second one. Make sure you're only spawning the numbers you want them to spawn. So for the spawn points, they either spawn the obstacle 1 or the second obstacle. For the spawn points, make sure they only spawn either of these 2 point templates. Do that for the third one. Make sure they're only spawning 2 different ones. Obstacle 1, obstacle 2, and for this, either this spawn coin or this. So that's 3, 4. So 2, either this one, this, or this. So you just go through as many of them as you can, and just make sure that it's the right things you are checking for. 5. So this is 2. So either they are spawning this. So if you have more obstacles, increase the number and then put them there. So either spawning 1 or spawning 2, and then just make it 2. And then the last one, 6, um, um, make it 2. So spawning first one, the second one, and then coin spawn either this or this to kind of add variation. So take it out, save. If you want to add like a background song to your game, just create an audio, okay, audio source, and I call it BG music, and then in the audio source put the song you want there, and then click loop. Okay, so if you want, so let's just, for the sake of this, add a background song to the game. So let's see, where is it? It did not drag. Let's just add it. It's not showing. Okay. Just want to look for something nice. Okay, let's just say this. Okay, so you can just drag and drop this song in here. Songs are not working. But we can just get a song and then you can drag the song into the scene. I don't know why the songs are not being dragged in. I put this in. I want us to just have like a song going on in the background and then see how that goes. Okay, so yeah. So we have the song here. Well, it's not too interesting, but you can have something like that going on. So copy this and then go to your main scene. You- By the time I send over the build, you would have a much better than paste here. So that way that works. So play the game and see everything that we've done so far. And we died. So this is just putting everything together. Naturally, we can create the entire things. We didn't beat the high score. The score we got was 500. The high score is 800. We can have a much more interesting background song than the one I'm using, and then something that fits the game more. I couldn't find one on time, so as not to. But yeah, we are going to build and build. So name it, give it the name, endless runner, and copy and save, and then it will build out the game. Uh, since this is first time, it might take a while to build out. So it would go through the entire thing and then it will build out for you. And by the time it builds out, it will open up the your file explorer to the scene to where the build is, and then you can move transfer it to your Android device and then play the game there. Well, as regards everything, that is how you put together a simple endless runner, and then you guys can like go crazy with it. If you have any like questions on maybe you want to add something to yours or you don't know how to go about it, we can maybe brainstorm, share your thoughts process, and then we can see how you can build from there. But when it comes to basics, these are everything you would need, and then yeah, that is what I have so far for us. Everything else that you can add, from other games you've played and other games you think that would do well with what you're going for, you can share them with us in the class, and then we'll discuss it and how to add it and how to build up from there. But basically, that is what an endless runner looks like. Any questions or whatnot? Are we all good? Okay. Still building here. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, since there are no questions, I will build, when it's done building, I will add a better song or a better background audio, rebuild it, and then send it to you guys. So have a great evening. Have an amazing Sunday, and let's see how much we can cover within the week. So yeah, great night, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so maybe the build is done. You would have that with you.